top of the stretch, and America's horse has opened up. It's American Pharoah with that majestic stride, pouring it on through the stretch. Keen Ice runs into second. American Pharoah, the party continues as he rolls home in the Haskell.
One of the greatest to ever look through a bridle, Triple Crown winner American Pharoah made his next date with the dirt in the Haskell Invitational, and that's coming up this weekend. You can watch coverage of it here on FanDuel Racing. I lied when I said we'd have live on-site coverage, Matt, because you kept saying you were going to the Haskell. You're going for NBC, not us. My bad. At any rate, we're still showing it, and we've got a great field set up.
And that morning line is likely to look considerably different because we're expecting Fierceness not to go. He's going to bypass and run in the Jim Dandy the following week up at Saratoga. That leaves Mindframe as an overwhelming favorite. And I say overwhelming, I know he just lost the head-to-head battle with Dornoch in the Belmont Stakes, Mike, but I think Mindframe kind of cost himself the race, being a little bit on the green side. That was the first time he'd ever really been in any kind of a battle with a good horse, and he got a little bit goofy out there and drifted about, and Dornoch, who's a far more seasoned professional, was able to get the job done. So it sounds like they're going to kind of square off again in a rematch. Dornoch is an interesting horse because I don't think he's gotten the credit he deserves by myself and by others as well, because we kind of looked at it and said maybe he just didn't really improve that much from 2 to 3. Well, the Belmont was clearly the best race he's ever run. I just wonder what kind of trip does he work out on Saturday from the inside, because you figure he's got to go. Tuscan Sky's not going to be far behind. He's going to be forwardly placed. Timberlake, I can't help but think is going to have to go. And Mindframe's not all that slow. So I think there's a chance that this could be a very competitive, contentious pace battle early on.
Yeah, I had a future bet on Dornoch, and I don't know why I got off the bandwagon so resolutely after the Derby, but I did, and it cost me in the Belmont. I think he's a good horse. I think I have to stop doubting him. I had a major future bet on Tuscan Sky. He didn't even make the Derby, but I think he could be a real nice runner. As we're taking a look at Tuscan Sky at Monmouth Park back on the 15th of June. My mom and my youngest son's birthday, I'll have you know. But this was Tuscan Sky for Todd Pletcher.
So this is him drawing away from a field that on paper you'd look at and say, well, if those horses ran in the Haskell, they'd be giant long shots. It's worth noting Domestic Product came right back and won the Dwyer with a 101 buyer. Hades finished second in that race, beating a country mile. On Thoroughgraph, he's a little bit slow, his 3 versus 1.5s and zeros from Mindframe. But I think it would be a little bit naive to think that Tuscan Sky doesn't probably have another forward move in him. He's coming out of a strong local prep, and he's the only one that's got experience other than C-Streak over the local strip, and I suppose there's a couple other ones as well. Jasper's Pride does have the local experience, but as far as stakes caliber runners are concerned, Tuscan Sky, I'm kind of having a difficult time getting away from him, given the likelihood that he's just kind of the afterthought in the wagering behind the big 2.
That's coming up on Saturday, one of the biggest races of the weekend, and a win and you're in for the Longines Breeders' Cup Classic on November 2nd at Del Mar. By winning one of these races, the $150,000 entry fee is paid by the Breeders' Cup. You get a $10,000 travel allowance, and then the $10,000 nominator award gets paid out. So the Breeders' Cup Win and You're In series, no joke. Those financial incentives are massive. And it's not as if these races needed the boost. It just, the Haskell's been one of the most important 3-year-old races in the country for years now, but now with that win and you're in for the Breeders' Cup Classic, added significance.